EA Sports just came out of nowhere with some more surprise news about Madden 22. They just dropped a blog on their website that nobody was expecting, and they're actually going over some other really nice changes that people have been asking for. Now, they have not dropped the official ratings for everybody yet. That's coming later today. We're going to get the quarterback ratings, and we're going to get the ratings for everybody in the game. So this will probably be a 2-video day. So if you don't want to miss that later or miss the gameplay videos, it's going to be coming soon. Make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of those videos. But let's get into today's video. So one of the main things they're going over today is equipment. They're doing some stuff with rosters, some stuff inside franchise mode. There's a lot of little things in this blog. The main thing is going to be equipment, and I know a lot of people have been asking me what's up with equipment. I couldn't make a video about equipment because honestly I didn't think we were getting new equipment. I just didn't think we were, but they came today with a nice surprise. So let's go over the blog. It says here, let's start with one of our most fan requested addition, Mouthpieces. While we added an initial offering of Mouthpieces via a title update in Madden 21 and Madden 22, all the primary and secondary team colors will be supported across all modes for both NFL players and created characters. This will be across current gen and last gen consoles. So that's really important. All of these equipment changes are going to be for, you know, the next gen, or if you want to call that current gen now, and the old consoles. So no matter which version you're playing, you're going to get all the equipment updates. Another fan favorite feature coming to Madden 22 is fully functional sock height customization, including all striped socks. This means no matter how an NFL player likes to wear his socks or how you, the gamer, want to customize your socks, all sock types in the game will respect the proper sock height across default, low, and high. Now, there's two different types of people here. Somebody that's laughing at this, and then there's people that are like, thank God. And I'm gonna tell you right now, because I know that for some people they might say, who cares about this, right? I'm gonna tell you, I will say, just from being on YouTube for many years, if I had to make a top 10 list of the things I've seen requested the most, I will promise you adjustable sock height is definitely in that top 10 of what I've personally seen requested in my comment section. So for the sock height, guys, congratulations, you finally got your sock height. We've also added new color variations of arm tape and are offering both short and long variations for different styles in the tape length. New smoked and dark Oakley visor variations have also been added as options to customize your helmet look. Now, I'm glad they did that for sure, because I mean, arm tape kind of came back in a big way after Alvin Kamara started wearing it. So many people in the league wear it now, but some people don't just wear the white arm tape, they wear the darker arm tape. And I'm glad that they're doing stuff with the visors as well, because I mean, we see players in the league, they wear different shades of visors. Obviously, certain ones they can't wear because it goes against the uniform rules or whatever, but we definitely know that they have some darker visors or some smokier visors than we've seen in Madden. So they've kind of added a little bit more customization there to just kind of make the players look how you want them to look. Speaking of helmets, a variety of new face masks we saw being used by NFL players have been added into our face mask library. Here's a full list of all of the new face masks you'll see in the customization menu. So you see here, we have about 8 new different face masks, and this is something that's constantly changing year over year. People are changing their face masks. You can see in the pictures below, different variations. I mean, people are just changing these things every year. Every year there's some new ones that people are sporting. So the game has done a pretty good job at keeping up to date with the face masks over the past 3 years. They've added new ones, which I like to see. To finish off player gear, here are the new cleats and gloves being added to Madden 22. You got the Nike Vapor Jet 6 gloves, the Adidas updated Adidas Zero gloves, the Adidas Freak gloves, the Adidas updated Adidas Zero cleats, the Adidas updated Freak cleats, and the Adidas Nasty cleats. Now, there's no new Jordan cleats being added, and I think Madden does have most of the major Jordan cleats in the game. I know they have the 1s, the 11s, and the 10s. I want to say I saw players showing off the Jordan 13 cleat, so I'd like to see that in the game if that's not there. But again, glad to see that they're constantly adding these new ones to the game, because if you're a customization type guy, you constantly want new things to use. It says here, we will continue adding more cleats and gloves via title updates later in the year from Nike Jordan, so stay tuned for more information. So I guess maybe I jumped the gun a little bit on the Jordan cleats, because we'll probably be getting them a little bit later. Our NFL Authentic equipment doesn't stop with just players. We're also adding a few new pieces of coach gear from the official providers of NFL on-field gear, Nike and New Era, to ensure we are reflecting the latest styles to be used this upcoming season. They're going to have the updated Nike Coach Polo, the Nike Coach Sweatshirt, the Nike Coach Hoodie, the Nike Coach Hot Jacket, the Home and Away New Era hat for all 32 teams, and the Coach Visors for all 32 teams. Now let's talk about player likeness. It says, we know that player and coach likeness likeness is extremely important to our players, and it is equally important to us. The process of head scanning takes time and relies on our team getting face-to-face with athletes. Limitation around in-person opportunities impacted our ability to get our traditional number of head scans this year. We intend to add more head scans via some of the title updates during the season, and we hope to hit the road to start scanning even more NFL players soon. Here's a list of some of the head scans we added for launch in Madden 22. So here's the list of guys they have, some of the rookies, and I guess some of the other veteran players that they had not yet been able to face scan. They're now in the game, so you can see obviously they got some of the big name guys like Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, Justin Field. They added Jonathan Taylor, guys like Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Darnell Savage. They've got Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Mark Andrews, Antonio Gibson, Darius Slayton. So it also says here, with those limitations in mind, we made significant effort to upgrade our generic head library. We've added over 100 new generic heads that will be available options for create a player. We have also spent time making visual improvements to existing scans and carrying them forward to the latest console generation. Now, when they talk about it being harder to like face scan people now and the limitations, I think it's mostly like a COVID related thing, because I know with like rookies, they would just go to the combine and that's when they would get, you know, like 95% of the rookies. They'd be able to just get everybody that was at the combine for the most part. They could just scan them in. But now, not everybody's going to the combine. Also, there's other just limitations and restrictions in place because of COVID. And then the problem is once the season starts, it becomes infinitely harder to get face to face with these guys because they're football players. They got practice. They're playing games. They can't just take time out of what they're doing all the time to go down to EA and get face scans. So same thing with some of the veteran players. Some of the veteran players, they just didn't get when they were rookies because either they weren't at the combine or for whatever reason, they just couldn't get face to face with them. And now, unless they're able to work out a schedule with that player and that schedule take time out to go get face scanned, right? You know, they can't force them to get face scanned. That's why you see there's always some of those kind of veteran guys sometimes that are still never in the game because either they just don't really care that much to go take their time out to get face scanned, or, you know, the schedule just hasn't worked out for them. So if they can't get them at the combine, like from that point on, it just becomes a lot harder to schedule with a busy NFL player. So just kind of something to keep in mind. But continuing on here, for rosters, it says, some adjustments were made to make franchise mode more dynamic and to better reflect aging superstars and promising young players. We started with removing the star dev trait on many older veterans who have met or surpassed their full potential through their careers. You can expect some tweaks to the overall formula as well. We've modified the outside linebacker group to get them more closely aligned to middle linebackers, which will improve the ratings crossovers when changing a player's position from one to the other to support specific defensive schemes and playbooks. This change will prevent significant overall shifts when changing positions and keeps players within the same range across the linebacker positions. Along with this, ball carrier vision has been added to the scrambling QB archetype to better characterize a very important skill for that type of player. Ratings. We are excited to share some news about our usage of the next-gen stats in our ratings process. During Madden 21 season, we started using the average of the top 5 speeds recorded by each player via next-gen stats to get better evaluation of our speed rating. Using real-life data from the NFL and accounting for player performance on a weekly and yearly basis, we will deliver more accurate representation of player speed on the Madden gridiron. In addition to the speed data, we find really important to take into account recorded 40-yard dash times and watch game film to see how it translates to game speed. To summarize, we're matching up the next-gen stats data and combination numbers with actual game footage to improve our creation process of speed and acceleration ratings for Madden 22. As you've seen throughout the game over the last 2 years, NFL Next-Gen Stats is a big part of where we're taking our game in terms of player performance, and we're continuing to find more ways to integrate this data into ratings process in the future. So that's kind of something I've already known. I mean, the guys that do the ratings, they take Next-Gen Stats into account, they take game, like they take all this stuff into account. They don't just look at the box score. So I guess here they're just kind of like letting you know that like going forward, that's what you can expect, right? Like the 40-yard dash, for example, is one thing, but how does that translate to game speed? Because 40-yard dash and game speed are two completely different things. So kind of a better way to really judge a player's speed, obviously you take their 40-yard dash into account to some degree, but what's the miles per hour they're running when they hit top speed on the field, right? It's very easy to judge a guy like when they do get a chance to have that breakaway run, right? How fast do they get? What is their top speed? And that kind of can tell you like who's who in terms of speed, because a guy that didn't have the craziest 40-yard dash, he could still hit a top speed on a breakaway run. So it kind of helps characterize, you know, the difference between top speed and acceleration are two very different things, and a 40 is going to measure your acceleration not so much your top sustained speed. So I think that's good that they're using stuff like that. But yeah, good information today. A lot of new equipment that I think people will like. Some roster changes for franchise mode that sound good. And later today, we'll have all the ratings and we can get together and complain about those as usual. So hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time.